Today, as we celebrate this Holy Thursday, we actually remember, celebrate, and commemorate three things, so to say. First of all, as we heard from this reading, the promulgation of the new command that Jesus gave us: love one another as I have loved you. I, your teacher and master, have washed your feet. You ought to wash. And then, as we heard from the second reading, the great mystery of the Holy Eucharist, the institution of the Holy Eucharist. And then thirdly, as Jesus is saying, do this in memory of me. The Holy Eucharist, the celebration of the Eucharist, which is to be continued until the end of the world, so intrinsically connected with priesthood. So the celebration of the priesthood. So also we say it is the birthday of the priesthood. Now we start with Eucharist, which is the source and summit of our faith. And there are three things which perhaps our churches, the Catholic churches, is different from any other church, of which we have to be proud of, and through which our faith and the God experience is so deepened. What are those three things? First, the Holy Eucharist. Second, the confessional, the reconciliation. Jesus is washing their feet. And an aspect of reconciliation and the baptism is involved in that. And then thirdly, the crucifix. A cross with the image of the crucified Lord. And all these three things has so much power to give us the power of God as a source of grace to flow into our lives. I know once a lady, a woman, came to me for confession. She was sharing that she was in a way fed up with the Catholic Church and what was going on in the church and all. So she left the church in a way, and she was going after so many other churches. And finally she found one church she thought very nice, music, beautiful music, good sermons and Bible classes, very nice company of the people, so much welcoming, all this. She kept on going there 2-3 years. But in all these 3 years, she was feeling something lacking in her life. And meanwhile, she said, in her home and at her work, things were not going on well. Meanwhile, she happened to go to a Catholic church for a funeral. And during the consecration, she said she couldn't control herself. She started crying. And she realized what she was lacking was the Holy Eucharist, the presence of the Lord in the Eucharistic Lord, in the Eucharistic presence, the bread. So she decided to go back to the Catholic faith, Catholic Church, and live. Today she lives, cherishing all the sacraments, especially the Holy Eucharist, the Mass. The Holy Eucharist is something that is so powerful in our lives for those who believe. Even for those who think we need to get away from life. Recently, might be 1.5 months, I got a call from a woman, an elderly woman, sick woman. She wants to talk to a priest. It happened to be me. So I went to her to visit. And you won't believe, so painful even to see. She is suffering from severe cancer. All over her body is so much pain, okay? And her nose, they took some biopsy from her nose, I think almost 2 years before. From that time onwards, it started to react, and the nose is as if a big red rose flower has kept on her nose. It is like that. Red, oozing out pus and water, and so much pain. It even extends to her eyes, so water comes to the eyes, and she has to always keep on wiping. And so much in pain. So she was asking me, Father, I suffered enough. No, I want to die. What does the Catholic Church say about death? Can I take my life? I want to take some medicine and end my life because I cannot suffer anymore. I spent with her almost 2 hours there, praying, talking, and I spoke about Jesus' suffering and our suffering to be united with the cross and all, and the Eucharist. And finally, I gave her communion. And at the end, she said, thank you. Thank you for coming. Thank you for spending the time. Thank you for bringing the Eucharist. And then she asked me if I could go again. I said, I will come back every week. From that time onwards, I go every week. But as I go, I can see how her life is deteriorating. Just like literally, as we say, a candle melting down. Slowly, slowly, slowly. This Wednesday when I visited, she can't even talk. She's almost like in a coma. I believe her prayer might be heard in these days. But what I am talking is that the power of Eucharist gave her not to think about death. From the time when I went, each time when I went again, she was so happy and excited to receive the Holy Eucharist. In her pain, she found peace and comfort. Holy Eucharist is something very important in our life, in our faith. It can do wonders in our life. And we call ourselves the Pilgrim Church. We are pilgrims. This is the food, that's why we call it Viaticum. It is the food for our journey, to strengthen us, to guide us, and to give us the experience of Jesus' presence always. And then washing of the feet. We heard today the second reading about the institution of the Eucharist. Just after that, where we finished in the same chapter, 1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 27 onwards, it says, we have to receive this Eucharist worthily. Worthily. When Jesus was washing the feet of his disciples, he gave us the command to love one another, but in that love involves so much things. First of all, the sacrificial love. And then he knew who is going to betray him. He knew who is going to deny him 3 times. He knew all of them will be running away when in time of need. But he did not show any sadness, any grief, any anger. He was washing their feet. He was feeding them, sitting all of them around the table of love. And that same Jesus asked us, when you go to offer a sacrifice, leave your gift there and go, and if you know that somebody has anything against you, not that you have anything against others, if others have anything against you, go and reconcile. Jesus is asking us to wash one another's feet. Loving, caring, with all patience and forgiveness. Not holding any grudge to anyone. And if we can't do that, Paul is saying, you call upon the judgment upon yourself. All these sacraments become meaningful for us and become the source of grace when we are able to approach all these sacraments, making ourselves worthy, reaching out to everyone and God with an open heart to reconcile, and making ourselves humble. The same Jesus is saying, learn from me, for I am humble and meek. We need to let our ego go. We need to empty ourselves to experience that Jesus who emptied himself, took up the cross, and shed his blood, broke his body for us to give us salvation. To experience his life, Jesus is inviting us. If I have done, you too do it. This day is a great day, entering into the mysteries of Christ's Paschal mystery, our salvation. Let us spend these days in a meaningful way. Celebrate all these mysteries in a meaningful way. Now we will be washing the feet. Those who wash, those who partake, those who are just here. Just think in our minds with whom we need to reach out, with whom we need to be reconciled, and ask God's blessings upon us, upon the whole church. Let's pray. We are going to have the foot washing. So let us partake with all devotion and prayerfulness, the washing of the feet.
The choir is singing on page number 14, Ubi Caritas, page number 14.
Deus,
page number 15, As I Have Done for You.